our contacts are unique because it is merging all that information together. The other thing that makes it unique is it's multidimensional. So most contacts, if you open it up like this, it'll just give you the different ways to contact somebody, email addresses, phone numbers, but we have different tabs on here. History is going to show you all of the communications I've had with this person.
Phone calls, messages.
Phone calls, text messages, messaging, social network messages.
So it's direct messages or status messages?
It's going to show you direct messages here.
And then happenings will be
any broadcast that Mariana here has done are going to show up, right? So, classic use case, if you haven't talked with somebody in a while, you can go in here and kind of see what Mariana's been up to. She might have been traveling, whatever. It gives you some context for things to talk about. Okay, and you asked about calendar. Let me quickly show you that. I have that set up on one of the panels here. So we do have a universal calendar across Exchange and Gmail. So what you see here is in blue, those are my different Exchange meetings. And I have Pick Up the Kiddo there as a recurring meeting out of Gmail. Okay, so it does pull those two together.
Does it support multiple Gmail calendars like the original Gmail app? I mean, you can have multiple calendars on Gmail. You can have your wife's calendar. You can have a public calendar.
That's actually really good. Let me check on that. That's a good one. Let me verify. Okay, so let's see. Let me show you a couple other things. So, kind of going back to the home screen. So I've kind of talked about how Moto Blur channels all of your messages from across sources, all of your social network updates, which are called happenings, pulls all of your contacts together, adds dimensions to them. The other thing that we do is we have also RSS feeds or news chips that we built in like this. And so when you open these up, you can connect to, by default, we give you a list of different news feeds you can connect into, but you can also enter whichever ones you prefer. And similar kind of concept with these cards where you can flick through and kind of get a quick update. And then if you want to launch out, you can click on that, and it's going to take you out to the browser for the full story.
Any multi-touch support, zooming in the browser?
Not yet. It's got the classic kind of zoom here at the bottom, but stay tuned for updates on that.
All right,
so zoom, classic zoom is that way. All right, and one other thing I don't think I mentioned here is if you want to, if you're a frequent Facebooker, for example, then you can just click on that status update and say demoing to Michael. And I can choose to publish that to Facebook or MySpace or Twitter or all at once. So I'm going to publish that to all the different services and post that, and it's going to update all of them. So right there from the home screen, kind of one-touch update to all of the different social networks. And so a couple of other things just on how customizable this is, right? We've talked about you can put the widgets that you want on there. You can put application shortcuts. You can also put direct shortcuts to individual contacts. So in this case, Big Bud's with Sanjay here. So we've got
gives you quick access to sending them a text message or a call or whatever.
Exactly. Whatever ways you have to communicate with them, you can get to. We've also customized the weather widget a little bit. So if I go in there, you can set up a number of different locations to track, and similar concept as you scroll through there, you can see it's still 89 in Redwood City, my hometown, Paducah, Kentucky, 80 degrees. So,
can you pull up the dialer?
Sure.
Oh, I'm okay, thank you.
The same.
Yeah, so pretty classic dialer.
Is that what frequent is, or is that automatic?
Frequent is, how many people, just the people that have called you by frequency. Recent, pretty straightforward. You can link directly into contacts from there. You can also set up speed dials.
Okay, great.
So,
all right, can we take a quick look at the hardware?
Sure.
This hardware designs, like you can see, it's a 4QWERTY keyboard. And that's what kind of controller is that? It's a D-pad on the left-hand side of the
keyboard? So it's a four-way controller with a selector in the middle there.
And the buttons up here, are they tactile or are they touch sensitive?
They're touch sensitive, so you got to push this down, and what this does is if you're in a widget, for example, this takes you back each time.
And of
Okay.
course the home, and then is that a menu button?
Yeah, home. So one of the cool things about this is depending on where you are, say I'm in a different panel, I push home once, it's going to take me to there. I push it twice, it's going to open up the native Android menu. And I can also hold this down so that I can move to whichever applications I've been into recently. All right. And with menu, kind of if you're in messaging, for example, and you want to compose a message, let me actually close it so that we can we'll do a Motorola message here. And if I hold down the menu key, it's going to pop up the on-screen keyboard. Okay, but if you don't hold it down, you just push it once, it's going to give you the different options to flag it as important.
Just like
and add
standard
these.
Android.
Yeah.
And we've got a 3.5mm headphone port up top, right?
Yep.
5-megapixel autofocus camera.
Yep. And in the back.
And let's see, what else we got in terms of hardware keys? Volume controls.
Yeah,
the
volume
left-hand
controls are on this side, on the left-hand side.
So a micro USB port down there for power.
Yeah, the micro USB is behind the panel.
Anything on the right-hand edge?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the USB. That's I'm sorry. The micro SD card is behind the panel. USB is on the side.
And the right-hand edge of the device, anything up there?
Yeah, there's that's the on-off switch and camera. Yeah.
Great. Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.